Because the instructions were so poorly written, the trainees had to blank the process themselves, leading to numerous blank errors. When faced with a two-blank question like this one, the first thing we'll do is read the full sentence and try to understand its overall meaning, even with both words missing. Then, before looking at our choices, we'll try filling each blank with our own simple placeholder word based on the context. Often, the structure of the sentence will give us a clue about how these two blanks relate to one another, whether the sentence is showing contrast, cause and effect, or adding two similar ideas. After that, we'll take a look at our choices. Because each option gives us a pair of words, both words in the pair must fit our sentence. If one word doesn't work, we can mark the entire choice off. With this in mind, let's take a closer look at our sentence. We see that because the instructions were poorly written, the trainees had to do something to the process themselves, which then led to numerous something errors. If the instructions were unclear, the trainees likely had to figure out or interpret the process on their own. And because they had to do this without clear guidance, the errors that resulted would be the kind that could have been prevented if the instructions had been clearer. With this in mind, we might fill the blanks with something like interpret the process themselves, leading to numerous preventable errors. Now that we have our placeholders, let's take a look at our choices. A. Replicate the process, deliberate errors. Replicate means to copy something exactly. This doesn't match our context. If the instructions were poorly written, the trainees wouldn't be copying anything, they'd be trying to understand them. Deliberate means intentional, and that doesn't match the kind of errors caused by unclear instructions. Because neither word fits here, we can mark this choice off. B. Decipher the process, avoidable errors. Decipher means to figure out or interpret something difficult to understand, which matches our placeholder meaning exactly. Avoidable fits as well. Errors caused by unclear instructions are mistakes that could have been avoided had the instructions been clear in the first place. As both words fit our sentence, this is likely our answer, but let's take a look at our remaining choices just to be sure. C. Memorize the process, beneficial errors. Memorize means to commit something to memory. Again, this doesn't work with our context. If instructions are unclear, the problem isn't that the trainees need to memorize them, but that they need to understand them. Beneficial means helpful, which in general doesn't describe errors. We can mark this pair off. D. Disregard the process, intentional errors. Disregard means ignore, which wouldn't make sense here. The trainees aren't ignoring the process, they're trying to understand it. Intentional, again, suggests purposeful errors, which contradicts the situation described. This pair can be marked off. And E. Analyze the process, welcome errors. Analyze means examine closely. Although analyze might sound like it fits here, it still doesn't match the idea of struggling through unclear instructions as closely as decipher does. And welcome errors wouldn't make sense in any context. Errors aren't welcomed. Because the second word doesn't fit, we can mark this choice off and go ahead and mark choice B as our final answer.